good evening, and welcome back. Welcome back to the Self Checkout Show. This is the show where we take an honest look at what's in our hearts, minds, and spirits. And after a whole month, 5 weeks, geez Louise, we are back. We are back. We are back. So excited to be back with you guys. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm turning my phone down. All righty. Yep, glad to be back. I'm really glad to see my girls again on the show. Glad to have each of you back with us wherever you're watching from. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, Tam, Tam, Tam. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Hey.
Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and LinkedIn. We're live on LinkedIn. You guys, we thank each and every one of you all for tuning in tonight. Welcome back. It's been a long time, yo. It's been a
But you had a powerful
long
month
time.
last month, so
Right.
Yes, yes, yes. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. Oh, hello, best friend.
hello,
Hey, Nita.
Nita.
Hey.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for tuning in. You guys, quickly, as we do all the time, we need you to like, love, and share. Like, love, and share. Like, love, and share. Share, 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 share. All right? You, for those of you, I don't want it to be on my page. I don't care. We want you to share it anyway while we're live. And when
Yes.
we come off of live, you can go right to your page and delete it. Can you do that for us, please? We have been, our show has been in the upper echelon when we are live on Facebook Live anyway, and we want to remain there. We need your help to do it. So share, share, share. All right. Yes, we were gone the whole month of October. We were out. We were not on the air due to WTM hosting master classes for the fivefold, and we had some who were not a part of the fivefold who, registered for the classes. And my goodness, powerful, powerful classes each and every Monday night we had in October. We're still hearing about great things from these classes, and I have learned so much um, from each and every one of our instructors. I'm telling you, and I'm not just saying this because I was the host of it. I'm saying it because it's the truth. These were some seriously powerful classes, and I'm glad that we were able to host them. Hey, Mom, I love you. Thank you, thank you. Yes, we are back. I'm glad I was able to host those classes, and goodness gracious, we got so much feedback and testimonies. Even people accepted their call into ministry. Um, oh boy, yesterday was a whole nother thing. Y'all would have had to have been there because I can explain it, but you just had to have well, you needed to be there yesterday. However, I'm glad that we are back, and yes, people, we are going to do more classes. People have asked already, can you do more? Yes, we can. But we're not going to do them soon. We're going to do them in the springtime, all right? We're going to get through this fall and this winter because it's coming. But you couldn't tell today because it was a good 70 degrees outside.
It
Nevertheless,
was. And can I just say that I still think that you really need to just still enlighten everyone on those classes. I don't think that you gave it enough just due. Those
oh,
classes were phenomenal, as was every one of your speakers. It was not where you just went and pulled or sought out anyone. You actually sought out those who are leaders in every gifting and every topic
for
that
sure.
was shared, whether you are in ministry, thinking of ministry, going to a ministry, maybe you don't even go to a ministry. Maybe you just want to know more because there are those who will not ever go inside of the four walls, but they want to know more about how to study the word, right? How to
That
read
is
the
true.
word. And I think that it's really, really,
That
really,
is
really,
very true.
really,
Thank
really,
you
really,
for
really,
that.
really important that people know that those classes were not just for people that were in ministry, that they were just for simply people that
That's
really
true.
just wanted the information and or wanted to sharpen what they maybe already knew. I was not able to be in the classes live every Monday. However, I did secure those tapings, and just watching them has been a blessing. So I admonish anybody that's listening, anybody that's watching, anybody that may have even just said, Bishop Jeff, I want to hear him, or Pastor Anthony Spencer, I want to hear him, or evangelist or prophetess Paula Dickens, I want to hear her. Listen, do yourself a favor and purchase the whole thing, because I
You really should.
promise you, and every week there were nuggets
Yeah.
that you could take away. Every
Yeah.
week there were nuggets, ways to study your word, ways to hear from God, ways to approach the word. I mean, every week, how
Yeah.
to serve, how to be a leader and serve, humbling enough to remind you of your position, whether you're
Yeah.
a leader or whether you're a lay member. You need these classes. And so I just really wanted us to go back and pause and spend some time there, marinate in that, because people just really, people need it. You need the giftings, you need the sharpening, you need the edification, you need to be taught, because it's not happening anymore. Yeah.
It's not.
It's not happening anymore. And so
No.
many more of us should have been in those classes to
Absolutely.
refine us. And I just want to just say, if you don't have them, you really need to reach out to Pastor Will to get the information on how you can secure those classes. Every teacher was phenomenal. Everyone. And notes
Thank
for
you.
days is what you will have.
I have so many notes. It's ridiculous. Thank you, Dr. Nancie. Yes, we did 5 classes. Good evening, Kimmy. Good evening, Denise Dunn. Good evening. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please, everyone, if you can, please share this right now. Share. The first class we had was with Pastor Anthony Spencer, and his class was entitled "How Do I
Powerful.
Know I've Been Called?"
Powerful.
And I, I, you need to get these
Called or
classes.
chosen.
You need to get, because he really broke that down. John Stenner said, "I need a refund." Get away from me.
He not getting it.
Hey, Stella,
Pastor
good
Will,
evening.
called or chosen. I don't called or chosen.
Right.
Huh?
That in
Listen,
itself
don't say
was a
nothing else. That's
whole
just enough.
thing.
That should make you now want to get it. Huh?
That in itself was a whole thing. He did the first class, "How do I know I've been called?" Then we followed up with Bishop Al Reese, who did sermon preparation,
Come
which was
on. How to
wow, wow,
hear.
wow. That dude, he walked. You said something, Dr. Nancy, that was so true. I strategically placed each one of these instructors in their classes because I know their giftings and I know what they're capable of, and I believe I did pretty good with picking each instructor
Phenomenal.
for their class. Yeah,
Phenomenal.
Reese did sermon
Phenomenal.
preparation. Bishop Jeff Davis did the art
Wait. You rushing too
wait.
fast through it. That's what you bothering me. Come on. Pastor Al Reese not only did sermon
Y'all
preparation, but he gave us tools. Some people don't know how to study the word. And that's why I said it's not just for preachers, it's not just for teachers. However, if you want to really know how to study the word of God, how to approach the word of God, that's important to people. How do I read this book? Because some people don't know where to start, right? They don't know how to take notes, they don't know how to study it. But do yourself a favor, get that class. He gave some good resources, some good tools so that you can break down the word of God and have some clarity and understand what the word is saying. Okay, what's next? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, the next one, because you all right with me. Tam said you got her talking back to the screen.
Right. Yeah, Tim, he just running through these classes, and these classes were phenomenal. They were
uh,
phenomenal and really enlightening, because sometimes we just, we kind of get a little comfortable and we
yes,
forget. We need a
yes,
little reminder, some refreshers. So I'm telling you,
and that's one of the
good
things I
class.
said when I was introducing these classes when I first put it out there, that no matter how long you've been doing it, Nobody knows it all. And there's always room for a refresher. You should want to be refreshed, get some fresh
Yes.
ideas, and things of that nature. Um, However, the next class was Bishop Jeff Davis, who taught the art of preaching. This one was for the preachers.
The art. So how we mount that pulpit, how we present, being mindful of the audience and what we're sharing. There's an art to it. We can't just get up there and do it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
can't just get up there. Come on.
There's
You
a
got to be
right and a
mindful
wrong
of it.
way.
There's a right. Every house has a set of rules. You got to know how to move in and out.
Yeah.
Listen, I want you all to know, because he just, he's so excited about us all being back on here tonight. But I really want him to take some time in that, because again, there was just not enough of us in the class.
Yeah, I agree. So he did that one, and the next one we had was Apostle R.J. Williams,
Period.
and his
Now let's
class
talk about
was
serving. Huh?
how to serve the
serve.
leader when you're a leader.
Listen, you cannot be a leader if you cannot serve.
Period.
There's no way. No way.
And sometimes we all need to come back. I don't care what you're leading in, if it's in the marketplace or in the church.
Mhm.
Sometimes you have to come back down some stairs to learn how to serve so that you're an effective leader.
Yes.
We have to sweep the floor sometimes. We have to take out the garbage sometimes. We have to
Clean that
serve
toilet.
our leaders. We have to be accountable, especially in a day and age where covering is coming under such an attack. Y'all,
Yes,
I'm
it
going to be
is.
quiet, because as you can tell, I loved these classes. And every
Coach
speaker,
Crystal, I
listen,
think she enjoyed them.
I think she over-enjoyed them, and that's all right. Well, she pulled
I
everything
did.
that she could possibly get all the way down to the last nitty-gritty, and that's all right.
Listen,
Apostle
because every
R.J.
speaker was
Williams
great.
walked
Yes.
through the scriptures with his class like
Mhm.
none other.
And he's
It was
big on
amazing.
serving. He
He's
is a
big on
leader.
serving. Yep.
He's big on
Yep.
serving. He's
Yep.
a leader who is big on serving. And that's one thing that I appreciate about us. When I say us, I mean us that are under apostles, Doctors Kurt and Linda Stennis. If we don't want to do anything else, and if we don't do anything else, we are big on serving our
sure.
leaders, meeting their needs, being honoring them. And so that's really, really important. Being a leader who is able to serve.
Absolutely.
Huggins!
Pastor Greg Huggins is on. Hey, my friend. Tell the missus I said hello. The last class we had, oh boy,
Lay us out.
was the one and only
Lay us on
Prophetess
out.
Paula Tanya Pinkett.
Lay us on out.
And she taught answering the prophetic call.
Lay us on
Now,
out.
I want to talk about this for 1 second.
Go
because
for it.
This woman, number one, she knows what she's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
She knows what she's doing. She is very, very skilled in it and anointed for it. Toward the end of that class, she had us do a prophetic exercise where somebody had to pick somebody that they did not know and prophesy to them. And she did this because if you are a part of a prophetic ministry, you should be able to prophesy.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I didn't say you are a prophet,
Mm-hmm.
because we got to know the difference.
There is a
We
difference.
talked about that too. You should be able to prophesy and should be able to do it with ease.
Mm-hmm.
Now, put that comment back on the screen, Charlotte. Nita did the demonstration yesterday.
Go, Nita!
Now let me talk about this, and we're gonna get into what we're gonna talk about. That prophetic exercise that we did in the class, it came into fruition yesterday, and it was because of a prophetic vision that Nita had concerning Andrea Stennis Hudson.
Wow.
And when she started talking about what she saw in the vision, prophecy began to flow. And it was so smooth and so easy. And Pastor John was standing next to me. He said, "This is what happened from the class." See what I'm talking about? We're not doing stuff just to be doing stuff. We are impacting and changing people's lives with
Period.
teaching.
Yes.
With nobody hollering and spitting and foaming.
Equipping and
It wasn't none of
edifying.
that. We
Yes.
had pens and papers, or we had our phones taking notes, and lives have been changed and impacted forever. And
Yes.
I'm so grateful. I'm so, so grateful. All of these classes were recorded. If you were unable to attend and now that you're hearing about them, you would like one, two, three, four, or all five of these classes, reach out to me. Let me know. We can handle the business of it, and I can send you any of the five classes or all five that you want. If you do want all five, you get a five for the price of four. $100 for all five classes. They were phenomenal,
Yes. And
and I'm
guess
grateful.
what? The good thing about it is, don't look at it as $100. Look at it as an investment that, guess what,
An
you'll be able to
investment.
keep and go back and watch as many times as you want, uninterrupted. Because
Yeah,
he's going to send you the link. And guess what, you all? The links are clean and clear. You could hear, like I
absolutely.
said, I was not live in the classes, but when I went back at 11, 12 o'clock that night or the
Yeah.
next night to watch them, I'm telling you, I was blessed. And so I could not let you just blow past a
And
month.
let me tell you, if somebody else, big name, had done the same thing, you would have got charged a good $300-400 for these.
Because it was well worth it.
Oh,
Well
absolutely,
worth it.
absolutely. So these are
Well
only
worth it.
$25 per class. If you get all five, you get all five for $100.
Yeah, you
Thank you,
couldn't blow
Dr.
past that.
Nancy.
You couldn't go past. You couldn't blow
Thank
past that.
you.
It
I
was too
appreciate that.
powerful. It was life changing, you all.
Yeah,
Listen,
put that comment up right there.
especially
That
with
one.
us being at the end of the year, this is what you want to be a catalyst or to catapult you into your next. Listen,
Y'all
see,
see this?
mm-hmm.
Had it not been for these classes,
She wouldn't have answered.
y'all
See,
see that? I'm telling you, we are changing. You don't have to have the biggest name to make
no,
an impact.
nope, nope.
We are changing lives, and God is using us to change lives. And I'm grateful. I am so grateful. They were powerful. Like, oh yes, Kimmy. And you got a little bit more yesterday. I see. Uh-huh. Oh man, if y'all wasn't in Wisconsin with us yesterday.
All right, now we keep talking because I wasn't there.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. Okay.
You can cut it right here. All right.
All right. We'll stop.
However,
Listen.
I did receive some messages, so I got some
Oh,
recordings.
did you hear?
So
Did you hear the recording from?
I got the recordings. Yep.
Okay. Guys, I'm grateful. I'm really, really grateful for what God has given me. I'm so grateful. I don't want to do it like nobody else. I don't want to be
Mhm.
nobody else. I just want to do what he wants me to do. And if that makes him happy, then I'm happy. All right. So I'm grateful. This is a whole month. It's November. It's Thanksgiving month. A whole month of gratefulness. And in that, Thanksgiving is coming. It's coming in a few weeks, Coach. Be here.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Coach Crystal, you cooking?
No.
No? Okay.
Uh-uh.
Okay. So you not cooking. All right.
Okay.
Dr. Nancy won't be here. All
Uh-uh.
right. So
It
I'll
won't be
just
no
move
food.
on from that. Won't be nothing. Not a little bit. Not a morsel of bread. Not two fish
Mm.
and five loaves. Nothing. All right.
I'm looking
Well,
forward to
my
it.
friends.
I'm looking forward to it.
Whoa, my goodness. Somebody got to feed me now. Look, listen,
You gonna have to feed
why are we
yourself,
talking
baby.
about? I'm going to have to do something. I don't know. Why are we talking about Thanksgiving? Let me ask you, my friends that are watching Thanksgiving, what is one Thanksgiving food that we could not pay you to eat? I want to hear
Chitlins.
your answer. Who's that? Chicken?
Chitlins.
Oh,
I would say yes to that.
Eat for
Chitterlings.
yourself, because I'll eat them.
Uh-uh.
Mm-mm.
Uh-uh.
I will
I
eat
cook
them,
them.
okay?
I'll cook them, but I'm not
You cook
eating
them, but
them.
you're not going to eat them.
Mm-mm.
They're not coming to
Green
this home.
bean casserole. What in God's name is
Yeah,
that?
yeah. But you know, the green bean casseroles made the right way
Can be
be
perked
quite
up.
tasty.
It don't even sound right.
Oh,
They
trust me
can
though.
be. They can be.
Trust me now. Trust now, Will. You
Uh-uh.
know, I'm gonna make you one.
Don't shake your head.
Oh,
I don't know
Because
when,
God.
because it may not be for Christmas. But I'm gonna make one so you can taste it, and I'm gonna let you
I
come
might
back and
have.
tell the people.
I'll try anything once, but it just don't sound right. Green bean
Trust me.
casserole.
Made the
Good
right
Lord.
way.
yeah.
Now, Coach Crystal, Nita with you. She says she ain't eating no
Yeah, we're
chitlins.
not eating them. We're not
Amen.
eating them.
Amen.
Give me, cut them up a little bit, put a little hot sauce on them. I'm all right. I'll take a little bit.
No.
Mm-mm.
Ain't gonna eat much, but I'll take a little bit.
Mm-mm.
Ain't
Jeanette,
gonna eat
hey
much.
Nettie, she says she ain't eating no chitlins either. See, all
Yeah.
all of y'all,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
We on the right
all we
side.
heard was chitlins and green bean casserole.
That's it.
Anything
That's
else?
all.
That's it.
That's it. That's all. Because
That's
everybody
all.
gonna say chitlins, right?
Chitlins. Now, what's
Is
your
there
next question?
anybody?
Because that's it right
Right.
there.
Because
Do I have anybody watching that eats chitlins? I
No.
remember my mama used to cook them, and I thought they smelled horrendous.
They
They
do.
No
do.
What
matter
you
what
thought?
type of potato she put in there, or onion,
Yeah,
or whatever you
They
put in there
do.
to
it
cut the
don't
smell,
work. They
it don't
stink.
work. But
That's
I'm
right.
gonna tell you right now,
Don't
I
tell me
cut
they
them
oh so
things
good.
up.
Ugh.
Thank you, Charlotte. I got somebody with me. I
Mm-mm.
yes,
I
I got
cook
somebody
them
with me.
and I do not eat them. Mm-mm.
Stuffing. No, we don't do stuffing over in
Not at
holiness. We do
all. We make
dressing. We
dressing.
do dressing.
Right.
we we ain't doing no stuffing.
What
We
is
don't want to
stuffing? I don't
knock
even
it
know.
off
We don't
the
even know what that
table.
is, do we? We don't know what stuffing
The
is.
stove top.
That's
We
what it
don't
is.
want that foolishness. Get
A
that
little
out of
bag
here.
of dry breadcrumbs. That's what it is.
Jeanette says she used to eat them. She used to, but she don't. She don't know. You know, Jeanette done got skinny. So, Coach Crystal, I'm sure you can relate to this.
Honey,
Jeanette done got
God
skinny. She
changed her
don't. She
mind.
don't
God
fool with none of
changed her
this stuff
mind.
no more.
God
Oh my goodness, y'all have cracked me up already. Look. I want to move on to the next thing, because this one, uh, is for the doctor. This one is for the doctor.
Oh, I
Doctor
thought we were sitting
Nancie.
around in Thanksgiving. All right.
No, we moving on because y'all done made me mad because y'all don't want to eat what I
Oh,
like.
so now your so now we can't continue because your feelings hurt.
My feelings is hurt. But this one, we haven't had one of these in a couple months.
All
But
right.
Dear Dr. Nancie is back, people. And this Dear Dr. Nancie segment is a true story from someone who always remains anonymous here on our show. And they
Mhm.
have a real life issue. And of course, as you all know, Dr. Nancie and her husband, Pastor Martise, they are relationship experts. They are uh, counselors, relationship counselors. I don't know the proper name for it, but they all of that. They licensed. They all of that stuff, right? So we are back with Dear Dr. Nancie. I need you all that's watching to listen carefully, listen closely, and you might, if you haven't shared, I need you to share. I'm gonna go back on Facebook and see who shared and who didn't. Now, look,
Okay.
I need y'all to share that. Okay. All right, dear Dr. Nancie, I
Okay.
was with a man for 15 years. We were
Mhm.
married and had 3 kids. Our marriage fell apart, and I am now divorced. I'm now going on almost 3 years with my boyfriend. My kids and I moved into his house this summer. My ex, my boyfriend, and myself have known each other for many years prior to us divorcing. My ex has always been captivated by my boyfriend, and for a little while, they had a budding friendship. However, As with most of my ex's friendships, they never last long. Since being with me, my boyfriend has really gotten to see what kind of person my ex is, and he does not like it. Multiple therapists, that multiple therapists, that's a little typo right there. Anyway, that my ex and I saw said he had narcissistic tendencies. The
Hmm.
ex does. That's what the therapist said. He's extremely protective of us and therefore can barely even be around my ex in any capacity. This is the boyfriend. All right. My
Mm-hmm.
ex can't seem to accept that there is no friendship. It's been 3 years, and my boyfriend has flat out told my ex that there is no friendship. My ex's girlfriend has told my ex to let it go. Okay. We clear so far.
Uh-huh.
All right, get this. My ex recently got our garage code from our kids and just walked into our home unannounced. I was at work, but my
What?
boyfriend works from home. He told my ex to never come into this house again. We changed the code and spoke with the kids. On Halloween, my ex texted my boyfriend saying he was going to trick or treat with our kids who were at my house on my time and wanted to hang out at the house with us until the kids were ready. My boyfriend told him, "You can wait outside." Dr. Nancie, how do we handle this? How do
Oh,
we make my ex understand that they aren't friends? What should we do if my ex continues to ignore boundaries? Whew.
Yeah, that's I've been writing notes as you were talking, and it sounds to me like there is a complete intrusion of boundaries. This is out of control.
mm-hmm.
Out of
Out of
control.
control. First, I want to know even how old, do you know how old the children are?
I can, one of them is turning 11 tomorrow because I know the person that wrote this.
Okay.
And the other two are younger. The oldest, I believe, will be 11 tomorrow. Maybe there's a
Okay.
13. Maybe there's a 13 and 11 and a younger boy.
It sounds to me like we don't even need to necessarily deal with the boyfriend or the girlfriend. It just sounds to me like the ex-husband, the one that's divorced, has a lack of respect completely to even punch in the garage code and go into anybody's house. You lost
Yeah.
me right there. You know what I'm saying? So I honestly, I don't even know what we're talking about outside of boundaries now being crossed, which means now we have to really get the police involved because obviously you're
Yep.
not listening to nothing else.
Yeah.
You're not
Hey,
listening.
Keita, how you doing?
You're not listening to me say, there's no relationship here. Don't come in our home. And even for safety's sake, you all could wake up at any given time and this person
Absolutely.
could be standing in your house. So,
Absolutely.
if you're not putting alarms on the doors, like you said, changing the codes, I would
Mhm.
definitely be at this point contacting the police and maybe even setting up. I don't know what type of visitation arrangements they have with the children, but there would have to be some outside arrangements. Like, don't even come to my house at this point. I don't even
Yep.
want you here. We'll
Yeah.
meet here, drop the kids off, and we'll meet here for me to get the children back and go on about my business. To me, it sounds like it's just kind of cut and dry. That's it. That's all. Like, I don't know. Coach Crystal, you got anything else to add?
Well, for one, I would definitely get some type of restraining order.
Definitely.
But I think that somewhere the lines got misconstrued when they were developing a relationship. I'm not really sure why they were doing that if he's your ex and this is now your new. So I think that was a misstep. On top of that, you've already been made aware that he has narcissistic tendencies, which
I'm her
he's
therapist.
going to be inclined to do these type of things
Yeah.
because he has a different setup in his mind than you do. So I would probably go beyond changing the code. You need to change some locks.
Yeah. Cut the chase.
Yeah.
Cut the chase. Change locks. Change the code. Put an alarm system up if you want to invest in that, and then definitely get some police involved because it is out of control. And for me, it's not even a conversation anymore. We're crossing over into safety now.
Safety, yeah.
Yeah.
Nita says sounds all too familiar to me, and I think that's one of the issues. He, the ex, is too familiar with that
Mm-hmm.
home, too
Mm-hmm.
familiar with the ins and outs of that whole thing. But um, this is number one is because the children gave him the code to the garage.
But that
So,
doesn't even matter because he knew better. Even when
well,
the babies
true,
gave him that code,
true.
he knew he should not have been using that code to access
First
that
of
home.
all, he shouldn't have even asked for it. If
No.
that wasn't said in the message, but it seems to me like he may have asked if they knew what
He
the
had to have
code
asked.
was, and they gave it to him. Um, Now, where you talked about Dr. Nancie, this has become a safety issue. I'm in total agreement with that, and here's why I am. This is not your house. This is the new boyfriend's house, and you walked in his house.
Yes,
Yeah.
because
He
they
could
moved
have
in with
shot
him.
you dead and
Yeah.
would have
And been
been within
okay.
And
his
he would have
right
been
to
all
do
right.
so.
But see, it
Yeah.
needs
So
to
it's
be
a
a lot of
safety
clarity
issue.
with them kids. You're gonna have to really sit your kids down. And this is when what goes on in this house stays
Yeah,
in this house.
yeah,
That's when that kicks in. You don't
yeah.
give the codes to this home to
To
anybody. I don't care
anybody.
who it is.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Charlotte said he wants control, but buddy, you lost control
Yeah.
when that relationship ended.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
only thing
Definitely.
you have is a relationship with your children
Mm-hmm.
that cannot be denied, but outside of that, you have nothing. We will co-parent, make sure these children are taken care of, and you can beat it. Scram,
You can
Satan.
beat it. Yep.
Like, again, for me, the biggest thing is just honestly not just safety for one person, but safety for
For
all the
all.
Oh
variables.
yeah, yeah,
The variables to this situation can go a number of ways. He can come in and just unload on them. He can come in and then they could unload on him. What if the children are caught
yeah.
in the crossfire? The
Yes.
variables to all of this,
Absolutely.
Yes.
This is
unacceptable.
dangerous. This is
Completely
dangerous.
dangerous. Completely.
Dangerous, dangerous.
Yeah.
Keita
No,
said, definitely had to deal with a man like this. Very toxic. I had to do what I had to do. Police did get involved and found that I was in the right and I was protecting my kids.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I would definitely get something to whoever this is. I would definitely have something written up by the police department. Seriously, because if when lines start getting crossed, you want that paper trail to
You want
cover
it.
you. So I would definitely go to the police department, fill out that police report or complete that police report. You know, if you can go to the extreme of getting those restraining orders, I would definitely put that in place.
Yep.
I don't know how that would play with the children, you know, but I would be mindful of that as well. But I would definitely have something in because for me, the thing that's screaming in my head is safety. The safety
Safety.
of everybody, you know, anybody. And last but not least, there would be some peace in my home.
I know that's right.
And like
Yeah.
Madia said, peace is made of steel.
Peace can be still,
Listen,
or you can get this piece of steel.
so I mean, because I can't sleep in here. I can't sleep in here knowing you have access
That's
or
right.
the
That
ability
part
to
bothered me the
access.
most, I think.
Yeah, the ability to access. That's why I said the variables and the safety aspect. I mean, and we've watched TV and we've seen this stuff on TV, and now this is real life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how we laying our heads down and sleeping in here. I'm just not comfortable.
I can't. We got to move. We got to move.
So we're gonna set this on up.
Everything.
Mhm.
Elder Derek Mays is here. Hey, sir, glad to have you. They
Hello.
are
Hello.
agreeing with you, ladies, saying that they definitely she needs a paper trail. Charlotte says yes, because the way these folks killing their exes, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is real life, folks.
Yeah.
real life.
This is real life. People are going back killing their exes.
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
It's in the news every week. Somebody done went back and
Mhm.
stabbed up and shot.
Yep.
Come on, man. Live your life. The relationship is over.
Yes.
You with somebody else. She with somebody else. Let it be. And stay out them folks' house uninvited.
Crazy.
Because somebody gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
want that, of course. But
Yeah.
this is a crazy world that we live in. And all these folks ain't wrapped too tight
Not
upstairs.
at all.
If
I'm
you
telling you,
I'm
safety is
trying to think of
screaming.
what
Safety
person.
is screaming.
This is the part I can't get over, y'all. What person in their right mind would literally punch in the garage code and just
Walk
walk
in.
clean up in somebody else's house?
And I mean, what did you say? Hey, how you doing? I mean, why did that go?
Right.
Hey,
What was
anybody
that
home? Are
conversation
you
like?
kidding me?
Yeah. No. Safety for me. No. Because I'm good with a
Wow.
knife too. I know how to just kind of hurl it real good too. So, I mean,
You
you
know,
come
you don't
walk up
even
in
need a
my
knife.
house.
I can kill you with a pencil.
Do you
But I'm
hear
gonna get
me?
you up out of here.
I'm
Wait a
just a
minute. What
little,
kind of a
Yeah.
pencil? What? Who
yeah.
are these people?
Listen, So for
So
me to answer all that, the biggest thing is safety, and I think that's the area she needs to respond to. That's the
Yeah.
avenue she
sure.
needs to respond to is the avenue of safety and wellness, not just for herself, but for her children.
And she probably need to look
I
into some
like what Nita said
supervised
too.
visits with her children as well.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
like what Nita said. She said she definitely needs camera for proof to
Yeah,
protect herself and her family. You
Yes.
know, the what the
ring,
what they
any
Uh-huh.
call
of
it.
them,
Yes.
the
Any of
ring.
them.
Yes. Yes, change those locks, get restraining orders, do whatever you have to do to protect your family. J Hulk is here. Future Grammy nominated J Hulk is in the room. My friend. How are you, sir? Glad you could join us. I hope you guys really learned something from that tonight, especially if you are in and out of relationships or have been with someone, no matter how long. If you have children
Yep.
with someone, you guys are no
Yep.
longer together. You have to make sure that you and your children are safe. Safe. Safety is the issue here.
Yeah, yeah.
I was with everything until I saw that she said the man walked up in. My mind goes back to, again, I know this young lady, and she has spoken to me before um, about how the children's father, Dr. Nancie, um, is manipulative when it comes to the children. He kind of manipulates that conversation with the children to try to find out
Uh-huh.
information. You see, you know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
That I don't like none of it. I don't like none of it. He needs to. I think it was Dr. Nancy that said it. We gonna have to meet you. If it's your turn to get the kids, we gonna meet you at
Down here at the
McDonald's,
Walgreens.
at the
Mm-hmm.
Walgreens, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We gonna meet you somewhere. Cause this, I don't like any of it. So, yep, safety is amazing. Yes. So, I hope everybody learned something from this situation, this story. These are real life stories that people have going on right now in their lives. So you guys make sure that safety is your priority. And those of you that are watching, if you have a scenario or questions that you would like to ask Dr. Nancy, please feel free to shoot us an email at the self checkout show at gmail.com. That's the self checkout show at gmail.com. Thank you. All right, moving on. Moving on. Coach Crystal has, y'all, a lot has happened since we've been out. A lot went down in October. A whole lot.
Tough.
Lot that went down in 2023.
Well, we're not talking about all that right now. We talking about
A
October.
lot has gone down while we were having master classes.
We talking about Christober.
I could.
Right here. Get yourself
Christopher.
together. Yeah.
A lot went on, y'all. Starting with Will and Jada. Will and Jada.
Uh-huh.
Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith.
Oh Lord.
A lot happened. We found out that these folks ain't been living together for years. They separated. And back in the day, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Coach Crystal, this was the one couple
That
I
we
thought
all
was
thought,
gonna make it.
yeah.
I
That's where
thought they
y'all
would have
fooled
won.
yourself. You can't fool yourself, okay? Because each couple is different and specific to their
Yeah.
own arrangement. Yeah, that was great. They got together. But listen here. I done read both of them books. Okay.
Ooh,
I want
man
you
on
to
the
tell
way.
me about
I
both of them books, but I want to say this. Once I found out that they've been separated for years, I said, Will done slapped that man on national
nope.
TV for nothing.
No, that's not really how it went down.
Well,
Uh-oh.
Crystal, Coach Crystal, you read Jada's memoir and Will's.
I
Don't
did.
tell too much because
Tell the
mine
I'm
on the
gonna
people.
give
way.
y'all I'm gonna give y'all just enough to make y'all run out.
And get the book.
Go and
Oh,
get these books now.
Mine on the way, honey. Mine
So
on the
this
way.
is the
oh,
thing.
Lord.
You
Okay, all
need to
right, come on
read
with it.
you need to read Jada's book first.
Okay.
And then read Will's, because see, right, we already in a frame of mind where we like, woe is Will, right? You know, Will
Can I
got
just
caught
read one
up
of
and
y'all?
she done been in an entanglement and she did this. Let me tell y'all something.
Uh-huh.
There was an agreement between the two. They were both fully aware that we are
Will and
going
Jada.
to be separated. You're going to
Okay.
do your thing and I'm going to do mine. There
This
Mm.
was
is in the
no,
memoir.
this is in the memoir
Oh, Lord.
on both books. The books are almost parallel. That's why it's
Wow.
best for you to read her book first
Oh,
so that you don't have like a sympathy type of thing. That's where we at right now, right? We got sympathy for Will and, you know,
yeah,
Jada did this and we
yeah.
jumping on Jada back when it's not like that. It's
Um,
equal playing field. They come from, let me tell you, there was one thing in, they tell the exact same stories in two different voices. That's it. In Will's book, him and Jada had went to therapy. This was prior to the separation, the 7 year. And the therapist said, Jada, what's the most important thing to you when it comes to family? She said, my kids, my husband, you know, I want my family to be together. And then it comes to me. When she asked Will said, I'm the most important thing. And
Oh,
then my wife. And then my kids. Jada said, well,
oh.
the kids not important. He said, well, yeah, but the way I feel about it is that if I'm stable and I have everything covered on all levels, then y'all are covered too.
oh.
So, you know, they bought a house,
Okay.
this big old
Okay.
house. He has an infatuation for Dallas. So he wants a big house, lots of land. She told him, I don't want that house. He bought it anyway.
Oh,
See, Will is a type of person that is forward thinking. If I take care of it, then everything is good. Jada is the type of person where she has specific things that she needs to make her happy. They may not be big things, they may not be little things, but specific things. And once you overlook that, you've lost her.
Mm.
And that's
Which
where
goes back to our love languages, honestly.
that's where the breakdown
It's
came.
not so much as losing each other. It's just a matter of meeting each other's needs. And we've
Mm-hmm.
got to be able, when we're in relationship, to be able to identify each other's love language because we each have needs. And those needs are specific to each
yeah.
one of us. That's why it's so important before when you're getting into a relationship with someone to be able to identify what you need and to be able to communicate that to the other person. Because if that person cannot meet your needs,
You should not be with them.
interest can be lost.
It can't. But see, this was like over time. But what I found odd, she told a story that when he was still married to Cherie, you know, they were having problems.
Okay.
He reached
Okay.
out to her. He reached out to her. Hey, how you doing? You know, just kind of regular conversation. Her mom then said, well, doesn't he have a wife?
Uh-oh.
And she said, well, yeah, but you know, she said, well, then tell him don't call you no more.
Mm.
Okay. Now, this was after they had
That's a
seen
good
each
mom
other.
should.
This is after they had seen each other at a comedy club, kind of, you know, had a little conversation. However, I got to Will's book. Will went to the comedy club to see Jada, right? And met Cherie in the interim. That's how him and Cherie got together, because he couldn't find Jada. He had that.
Well, where was Jada at? Do we know?
He either had not arrived.
She was with Tupac.
Or, no. And let me touch on that. Jada and Tupac's love or scenario was not romantic. It wasn't a romantic type of thing. Like, they had never had any kind of intercourse. They probably kissed one time and then decided this not gonna work. We need to just be right where we at. There was
I don't
never
know if I necessarily believe that.
Well, I think that I do. Because he dated I think that I do. And even Will mimics it in his book. They say the same thing. Her mother says the same thing.
I need to read these books.
Yeah, mine are on the way. My copies are on the way.
Yeah, they talk about everything. It's so transparent. I can't see her lying about that one thing.
Did she lie about some other stuff though?
Charlotte said
she don't lie about nothing.
Charlotte said this sounds rehearsed.
Well, the only reason it can't sound that rehearsed, not if Will wrote his book years ago. Will's book.
No, I did.
Will's
hear
book
that.
Is not new.
I did hear that.
We just never really paid attention to it until now.
We didn't read it. You understand what I'm saying? Will's book is not new. It's years old. And he speaks and touches, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, so when she talked about that, oh, now I see.
But we still, even though his was written years ago, you suggest we read hers first.
Read hers first. Because we already have a passive heart for Will. He's Will. He's Will Smith. He's talking. That's what I'm telling you. So I mean, you got to read the hardcore part first, because Will is the hard, and not Will. Jada is the hard, and Will is the soft when it comes to life.
All I know is they had us hoodwinked and bamboozled,
baby. Listen,
for years.
And then when you hear his story in comparison to hers, she has a strong personality. She believes in being a strong Black woman, and I can conquer anything. I can fight the world. That's Jada. Will was stuck in a little boy's circle for a long time.
You can see that.
Because his dad was abusive to his mom. And there was a moment, there was a situation where he felt like, I can either help my mom or I can be a punk. He chose not to try to fight his daddy, so he rested with that for a long time. That he was a loser. You know, if something comes up, I'm gonna back down. I don't have the heart to do it. So that's why he jumps out and does a lot of things like he does.
All right, don't tell no more. Don't tell no more. Don't tell no more. Don't tell me.
This seems like this.
We're gonna have to come back. We're gonna have to come back and read and talk about this after I done read these books.
I got one question though. I got one question. You said a few minutes ago, you said that Will is a forward thinker, and that it's like when he talked about himself first, then the wife, then the kids, and you said that he is the type that, okay, if I'm straight and I can make all this straight for them, then I'm good. They gonna be good. Is that necessarily a bad thing?
No. It's not necessarily, a bad thing when you and your mate are on the same page. If she's okay and she says, hey, he got it. Whatever he, chooses to do, I know we good, and that's the agreement, then that's fine. However, that's not how Jada mind works. Will likes to see the big picture, and Jada likes to see small things.
But that's the man's. If we know our roles in relationships, that really is the man's job.
Not to the degree that Will does it. I'm not talking about.
No, I'm not talking about degrees, but I'm talking about that's the man's job, to be that forward thinker, to see, okay, we've got to have vision. That's his job as the husband and or the head of the household, is to have vision. When you're a husband, when you're the head of the household, the wife and the children should be able to come to you and say, what's our vision? We have to sit down and come up with a vision together.
I'm going to stop you right there. That's not the way that household works.
And it may not have been how that household worked. Because again, I hear you saying Jada had her own ideas and Will had his own ideas. And again, that's why communication comes into play. And it's even more so important why we have to have clear understanding of what we're doing before we say those words.
And that's why y'all need to read the book. So you can
Gotcha.
understand how they got up to say I do, how she acted
Gotcha.
when it was time to plan a wedding, how she acts when in connection to how his thought process was. Her idea of you being in control and having that man role is that you need to consult me on some of the things that you decide to do. Will jumped up and just did a lot of stuff. I made this decision. This will be.
And you're right. And he should not have done that. I agree with you.
See that.
And like Charlotte said, maybe Jada wanted to be the head because some of us Black women are very dominant. So I'm not saying that either. However, I am saying that communication is key and there could be some right and wrong in the both of them. But I have to read the book. I have to read the book. I have to read the book.
But Jada didn't want to be the head. She just wanted to have a line of communication where they were in agreement with what they were doing.
Communication.
That's all she wanted.
Communication.
We got to read the books, y'all.
Yeah.
We got to read the books. Now, Nita, let me tell you right now.
That's not
I've already been hoodwinked and bamboozled by Will and Jada. If Barack and Michelle break up, I'm catching the first rocket to Mars.
We are
right me.
Well, you have fun there.
We all done, dear. We all done.
Now, I already had to get through this Will and Jada stuff.
Where that put?
Now, Michelle and Barack break up. I'm going to live with Donald Trump and Ivanka.
You know, I think that Barack and Michelle, though, I think that for sake of conversation, what you saw was what you got with them.
Yeah.
I think that they were very authentic.
You know what? I can see that.
Transparent.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I think that they're very authentic and transparent. Now, not Trump at all.
No, I ain't going. I'm just talking. I ain't going to live with that clown.
But Michelle and Barack, I think they were very authentic and still are very authentic and or transparent. Now Jada and Will, I will say they did definitely sell us
a dream.
Yeah. And we were all like we've all said, we were all rooting for them because they had been the longest couple.
Yeah.
You know, that we had
y'all know they're back together, right? You know they've been to move back into the house, right? Y'all know that, right?
I'm not listening.
In the show.
I don't want to talk about this.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
In the show.
But anyway, before we do that, once y'all done with these books, y'all need to move on to Viola Davis.
But you know, it goes back to what's happening with a lot of these celebrities with open marriages, with you know, being fluid, if you will, having these agreements. I mean, look, Jada and Will did what we all was like, oh my goodness about. But then on the news, I think it was on the news once this kind of broke, they started talking about so many other couples who had done it too.
Yes.
Who had already done it. One being Janet Jackson that I remember, and then there were some other couples.
I heard about that one. I heard about that.
I'm not shocked. I don't be shocked when all this stuff come out because they're in the celebrity eye. They are liable to do anything. I ain't shocked.
Yeah,
and
right.
I'm not. I don't put all or nothing in it. I love Jada and Will as a couple. But I mean, stuff happens.
Stuff happens, man.
And they don't owe us any explanation, and that's where.
Oh, sure they do. Oh, yes, they do. I'm on season 3 of that stuff. I want my explanation.
Will.
Look, Denise said Alicia Keys and her. Yeah, like these people have been. And what's funny to me is that even with the tabloids and even with the paparazzi, they've been able to keep it hush hush.
Yes.
Now, how in the world is that happening?
Right. 7 years. Okay. Nevertheless, you all heard it from the coach. Get the books, read Jada's first, and then read Will's, and then Viola Davis's, which we'll talk about.
And then meet us all back here in a couple of weeks because we're going to talk about it again.
So we can all talk about it. All right. Moving on. I want to ask you, Dr. Nancie, and I want to ask my viewers also. Have you ever said or done something publicly that you regret, or have you ever said or done something that made people lose respect for you?
I believe we all have, if we're honest
Yeah.
with
I
ourselves.
sure I have.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I have. I want to those of you in the comments on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, just a simple yes or no. Have you ever done or said something that said something or done something publicly that made people lose respect for you and that you regret it? My answer is yes. Dr. Nancy's answer is probably so. Yeah, maybe.
Hmm.
No, it's
Coach, you think
definitely
you
yes.
have?
I'm saying we
Yes.
all have.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's definitely a
Okay.
yes.
I think so too. I think we all have at
Hmm.
some point. Um Now, two things here. One being something that you regret. That's one thing. But when you do something that or say something that causes people who look up to you to lose respect for you, that's a whole other thing. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if you've been keeping up with the news uh, on social media, okay, we gotta know. Denise said no, she don't think she has. Good, good. Keep that going. You might want to keep that going. Um, if you've been keeping up with social media, with bloggers, this, that, and the other, uh, Carlton Pearson is in hospice care. He is uh, what he believes, and probably all of us that know what's going on believe that he is transitioning. He's on his way out. Uh, he's dying. Let's just say it for what it is. Okay. Now, in what he says is likely his final message to his followers. I did watch that video. I don't know if you all saw it. As he battles cancer, um, former megachurch pastor Bishop Carlton Pearson, who lost his ministry after he stopped believing in hell. He says he'll be thinking of them in heaven as rumors of his death abounded on social media. He says this will probably be one of the last times you see me like this, as I may be closing some things out, but I'll never close you out in consciousness. He said that from his hospice room, and he shared it on Facebook last week, Tuesday night. He says, I'll never stop thinking of who you are and why you are, and how somehow we are divinely drawn together in this divine intersection of our lives. But I feel you, and I hope you feel me, even when I'm in heaven or on the other side or the other iteration. Don't know what that means. Who Carlton looked to be a shell of himself. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but he turned 70 years old in March. And there was a movie even made about his life. And he had one of the biggest followings, church included, music, Azusa. Azusa. Everybody knows about Azusa. He had, oh my God, one of the first mega churches, is what they call it, until he said something that caused people to leave him, caused people to disrespect him. They lost all respect for him. And what he said, and it's called the gospel, he called it the gospel of inclusion,
Hmm.
in which he said he no longer believes that there is a hell. He believes there's heaven. He says he's going to heaven. He knows he's going to heaven. But this gospel of inclusion, Coach Crystal, he says, no, there ain't no hell because of the work that was done on the cross.
Huh.
This is where well, not everybody, but most of his followers and most of the world lost respect for him and left him. Now, now this man is dying. He he is in fact dying. I don't know, coach or doctor. I don't know if you all saw the video from last week. He is dying. That's for sure. And I don't, you know, first of all, that's his belief. If that's what he believed, that's on him. That's between him and his God.
Hmm.
But there is a hell. Let me just say that. Okay. Just as sure as there's a heaven, there's a hell. Now, um, it amazed me though, once this video came out last Tuesday, how many people that I saw for myself on social media are still, um, I don't want to say angry, but it appears that many people are not over what he said and what he did and this gospel of inclusion. And there are questions now of, you know, I wonder if he going to heaven. And, I hope he got this right. And it led me to think about how humans can be sometimes. Because we have a tendency, not everybody, some people, lots of people, have a tendency to hold a grudge against somebody for something they did or said 15 years ago.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You still angry about something that happened that long ago, and the people that we're angry with and holding a grudge against, they done moved on with their life. They done forgot all about it, you know. And this made me question, um, like the Christians. It made me question our motive sometimes. Like, how are we condemning and damning this man to hell because he don't believe there is a hell? Because, now, hear me carefully. The last time I checked, Book of Romans, chapter 10, believe with your heart, confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus, you shall be saved. There was nothing else added to that.
Yeah.
I'm saying that for a person to say that I don't believe that there is a hell, but yet believes in Jesus Christ, the finished work of the cross, he believes in salvation, he believes everything that was done that Jesus did. How, Dr. Nancy, how are we sending this? Not we, but how are people sending this man to hell?
I don't know. I don't know. I will always remember him for the contribution that he made as far as Azusa Street is concerned and all that he done as far as his music and whatnot. We all have our own beliefs, whether we are Kojic, Baptist, Methodist, Episcopalian, Catholic, Lutheran, Buddhist, Hindus. So who am I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
And we all believe. See, I have to be mindful of my responses. I don't always like these kind of platforms because, again, here we go again. Have you said done something?
Yeah.
But we all like what we like, and that we don't like, we don't like. Growing up as a young girl, I didn't like colored dolls. Sorry, because I just felt like they weren't as cute as the other dolls. And
Okay.
so the same thing now, here we go. I'll just put myself out there. The
Come
same
on.
thing goes true for the Lord. I liked the white Jesus, the pictures of the white, because sometimes I thought that the black Jesus just looked so like, oh, we always just made them look so bad sometimes when they were painting and drawing them. So we can all like what we like, We can all believe what we want to believe.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the word says that every knee shall bow and
Yeah.
every tongue shall
Yeah.
confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. So if this man does not want to believe that there is a hell because he is serving God with all he has to give, he is loving his neighbor, and he is doing what he's supposed to do, then guess what, sir?
Yeah.
Go on about your business
Yeah.
because
Pretty
who knows?
much. And
So
and and we don't know what kind of conversations this man done had with God.
And
We don't
I
know.
really wish
We don't
people would
know.
just leave him be. I was thinking about him yesterday. As far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to say if loudly because I serve a God who can have the only say so and change things around at any given moment he wants.
Uh-huh.
So while we are
Yeah.
already telling this man so long, farewell, goodbye, it was nice knowing you, putting him in the grave, he could very well get up.
Yeah.
There's someone already, there is
Yeah.
a woman at Progressive Life Giving Word Cathedral who has seen hospice and or death several times, and she still lives and breathes this day. That's the kind of God I serve. Okay. So if this man should happen to get up, um, listen, who are we to say anything?
Right.
Anything. And so I
Right.
don't think that we should be putting him, so much as saying farewell and all that. We just don't know. We just don't
No.
know. And he is doing this right now, as far as I'm concerned, Nancie. He's doing this with such dignity to even
I agree.
to smile the way he's smiling and to address us still. He is one of the fathers. Whether we like it or
He
not,
is.
this man
Yep.
will go down in history
Yeah.
For sure.
no matter what we say. So
For
let's give
sure.
him his flowers. Let's salute
Yeah.
him. Let's honor him and go
Yes.
on because he is who he is, and we can't take that from him.
Yeah.
I Oh, coach, I'm sorry.
No, no, go ahead. I agree with everything she's saying.
Yeah, me too. I brought that point up because I really want us uh as a people to this is the self-checkout show, right? We need to do that sometimes. We need to check ourselves out because this unforgiveness and these grudges, we talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about unforgiveness before. And I kind of gleaned this from what I saw people saying about him. And it made me think of unforgiveness, of how we're not willing to let stuff go. You have to know people, especially in your families. You need to learn how to forgive and do it quickly.
But again, I kind of teeter totter even in there. Here we go. Because you never know how much it hurts, the trauma behind it. And
I
forgiveness
agree
is,
with that.
and so sometimes, we have to deal with that. We have to address the trauma of it all. And it can be a process at times. It's a conscious decision because a lot of us, we guard, when you hurt and you don't want to hurt again. So you're quick to try to protect it. So if you hurt me, I don't want to allow you to hurt me again because that hurt. And a lot of times, we've got the misconception that forgiveness is always for the other person, when in actuality it's for ourselves. But we
For
have to
ourselves. Yeah.
understand that. We have to come to that realization that if I forgive this person, if I let go of this, I'm not so much as saying that they didn't do what they did to me. Because that's what we keep
Right.
thinking about. You hurt me. You did this to me. So we're
Yeah.
not even thinking about the forgiveness aspect of it. We probably need to do another show on this thing.
I think we
Because
should because
because it's not there. It's not it's the fact of the act towards me. And so now I'm responding to that. So if I can get
right.
past that, if I can see past that, then maybe I can begin to walk out and walk in forgiveness.
I agree. We should cover this again because it's a lot. It's layered. Um,
It's
It's
layered.
layered.
That's
it's
my word,
layered.
layers. Y'all know
But I took that from you.
that.
I think that it's really really important though for Christian people to practice forgiveness. And no, it is not easy.
That's right.
It's
But you
not
also can
easy.
make a
At
decision
the same,
behind it. You can make another decision behind it. You can
true,
forgive. That don't mean that you have to now go back
we don't
and
have to
pick up where you left
reconcile
off.
Right.
That doesn't mean that you forgot.
because I'm
You
not gonna
just
forget.
you're just
Let the
moving
truth be
past
told.
one level of
But
it.
see, then again, now, but we're supposed to as Christians. See, when we start talking
But
about,
you cannot forget
You can't
what
just erase it from your
we
mind.
have see what I'm saying?
right.
We need a
That's what
show.
I'm trying to say.
We need a show. We need a show.
Okay,
We need a show.
we're gonna have to table this because I'm ready now.
We need a show. We need a show. We need a
I'm
show
ready
because
now.
there are layers to it and there are a lot of components to it. And I think that a lot of it too goes back into our makeup from childhood on up, because that's why a lot of times we don't know how to forgive and we don't understand the definition of forgiveness and all that comes with it, because most times we told go back and get them. They hit you, go hit them back. You know what I'm saying?
Go hit them back. Yep.
Yeah. So
I don't need to lick back. I don't need to lick back. I can forgive you. But what I mean by not forgetting is this. I'm not gonna jump back in blindly because now I know my boundaries. I know what you're capable
and see,
of.
that's different. So that's
And
a
until
definition.
you show me different,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna move accordingly.
Yeah. And then who are we? Because see, this is, oh Lord. Who are we to say we can't forgive and then reconcile? Because the Lord does it with us every day.
It determines on who the
You
individual
can, but
is.
for me, it depends on the level of trauma that was dealt to me.
Did the Lord say that to you?
No, he didn't say that. I'm saying that.
And I'm not
It
saying when you
depends
say
on how hurt I
reconcile,
was and if I'm willing
yeah.
to put myself back out there again, which chances are
But here's
I'm
what I'm
not
saying.
if it was a large offense.
Now let me tell you, I have not arrived. So I want y'all to know, honey, I have not arrived. But what I am saying is when it comes down to forgiveness and forgetting, I try to ask myself that. Am I better than God? Is this something that God wants or that God would do with me or to me? Look, Charlotte said God wants us to reconcile. That's his plan. That's his
behind the reconcile. I need a little bit of clarity behind the reconcile, because we're not finna be kicking it. What kind of reconcile are we talking about?
I'm with you on that.
Now, we don't have to kick it. Now I'm with you on that too. We don't have to kick it.
I can speak to you when I come in the room. I can be cordial. I know how to handle myself, but I just want to be clear. When you saying reconcile, I'm hearing one thing, but I need a little clarity on the other.
You see what I'm saying? Right. Right.
I'm writing down reconcile.
We're not saying go out and give them keys to your house, but be able to walk into a room and say, how you doing, and be okay with it.
And it's gonna be about the gist of it. I don't really want to know how your family doing. I don't want to know.
We need it on the show.
I don't need that.
We need it on the show.
It's gonna take a little while for me to move past.
And everything.
We need it on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
But this is good because we as people, we as Christians, we need this. We need to deal with forgiveness, not once, not twice, but often, because again, it's a self-checkout, right? Yeah. It's an evaluation of myself. Where do I stand on that scale, on that Richter? Am I on cardiac arrest? Is my heart in trouble? Because that's what God is checking. That's what God is coming for. Our hearts, the motives and intentions of our hearts. What's going on in there?
Yeah,
is it callous?
I'm going to look up
Charlotte,
the word reconcile, because that word is, I think that word carries a lot of weight along with forgiveness. It's a lot. It's layered.
It's layered.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to come back to you and we're going to have this discussion on the self-checkout show. Listen, before we go off the air, I want you to, in your prayers tonight, if you will, call out the name Maybelline, my sister, my friend, fellow member of my church, Maybelline Torres. She lost her dad on last week. And we're praying for that family. But God, God is really something, because her dad had been in hospice for quite some time, and he was supposed to have, according to what the doctor said, he was supposed to have been gone. But
See?
he defied those odds and everything that the doctor said. Let me tell you right now, God has the final say in
Not the
anything.
final. He is the
The
only
only.
say.
The
I can't
only
stand
say.
that. Why do we say that? He is the final. Because when we give, see, that's another show.
My
Another show.
point is, no matter what anybody else says,
Yes.
it only matters what God says,
Period. That's it.
right?
That's all.
So he defied the odds, but he did eventually transition, and we are keeping Maybelline Torres and Jamal, that whole family, in our prayers. We love you. We're praying for you. You all that are watching, thank you for tuning in. Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. We appreciate all of you for watching us tonight. We're coming back because we got to talk about reconciliation and forgiveness. It's Coach Crystal and myself against Dr.
My
Nancy.
best friend.
Y'all might want to tune
I ain't never against Nancy. Now, look, you on your own.
in.
'Cause I'm a side with her
Y'all might
every
want
time.
to tune in.
Period. Period.
Crystal.
Y'all know us.
Crystal.
You on your own.
That's my best friend.
John,
Yeah, she turned on me that fast. We were agreeing a few minutes ago. Now she
That's
just
my
turned on me
best
that
friend.
fast.
That's
Hey
my
guys,
best
we
friend.
love you. Thank you
Love
for
y'all.
tuning in. This is
love
the Self
you.
Checkout Show where we take an honest look at what's in our hearts, minds, and spirits. We will see you back here next Monday night at 7 p.m. Good night,
Good
everybody.
night.
Have a good week.